Hey Megamaniacs, this is Mr. MegaManFan. I'm on the retro hunt again, and the adventures start after this introduction from Megaran.
Yo, this is MegaManFan, and you need to rock and or roll on over to Mr. MegaManFan's YouTube channel, because it's all that rush to make it happen. Peace!
So on this particular day, Ring Fit Adventure was being demoed at Best Buy, so while I was there, I stopped to look and see what they had, and would you believe it or not, there's actually a Wii Fit trainer hiding behind this Dark Samus. Only one, but still kind of cool considering how rare it used to be, and I think that Dark Samus looks really nice too. Incineroar is also available, Wedding Tux Mario, more Dark Samus down there, and plentiful amiibo stocks in general. So, I'm always happy to see that. The usual bevy of accessories, memory cards, carrying cases, controllers, the Nintendo GameCube style controllers for Switch, always in stock these days, and that's good to see as well. But let's move on to some more retrofied gaming stuff. I went to Pop Culture Exchange while I was out. Didn't shoot any footage on location, it was kind of crowded, but I do have a bag full of swag starting with Lego Jurassic World. This copy looked pretty good to me, and $7.99 was an acceptable price. Not a super bargain, but not super expensive either. The disc looks okay. It's been wiped down at least once, but thankfully not resurfaced, because that ruins Wii U and basically any Blu-ray generation game in general. Don't resurface those because you're not fixing anything. Take my word for it. Don't do it. What else do we have in here? Nicktoons Unite for GameCube. It is complete, but it is not in an original GameCube case because there is no memory card holder up at the top, as you can see here. But I suspect this disc will work, and it was only $5, and the amount of GameCube games I don't own is ever diminishing, so finding anything that I don't already have for only $5 is worth it. The next title is a little more on the pricey side, but it's something that I've been wanting for a while. Half Minute Hero for PSP. An interesting game, and not a super common game. You have 30 seconds to save the world, prepare for the fastest, most frantic gameplay ever, conquer over 100 levels in this game, which is complete. Manual, box, and disc. Let's check that disc real quick. Pretty sure I looked at it at the store, but yeah, I think that looks good here too. That's the nice thing about PSP games coming in their own caddies. It does tend to protect them fairly well. Next up, something that I previously saw at a different store. I won't name which one, but they wanted at least 50% more than Pop Culture Exchange. And this copy is complete, and the disc looks pretty nice to me. Not perfect, but it should work. And it is an original, authentic GameCube case with the memory card holder in it, so I figured for 50% less than the other store that shall not be named, that was worth picking up. Second Sight's been on my list of GameCube games to get for a while. Now here's the big haul. In this bag, we have about 20 instruction manuals for $25. The guy working at the counter said, I just got a whole bunch of these in the back. You want to take a look at them? And I said yes, and I picked out a selection. I was really excited to see Donkey Kong Country 2 and Super Mario World in there. And at the end, he was like, yeah, $25 for the whole stack. I was like, dude. I didn't tell him how much of a bargain that was. Death Valley Rally. That makes me really happy because I have a loose copy of that game, and I'm a big fan of Roadrunner cartoons from when I was younger. I wasn't going to tell him that individually priced, he could have sold all of these for more than $25. But then again, I'm a regular customer at Pop Culture, so maybe he just figures selling this guy a bunch of manuals. I don't have to bag them all individually. Makes him happy, gets some inventory out of the store, and it's a win-win because he'll come back again. And I do. I come back to that store, I wouldn't say once a week, but pretty close to once a week. I'm in there quite a bit. So all of these manuals, with like one exception, were all ones I didn't have. One of the Madden games I already had. I think it was Madden 2000, but I was just going by memory and going fast and trying to get a good deal by not being like super like, oh, that's good, trying to poker face it a little. So I was careful to just pick out some good ones, but also pick them out pretty fast and just build up a little stack and then hand him the whole stack and be like, what do you think? And when he said $25, I was so ready for that. I mean, okay, if you bought a lot of manuals on eBay, you might get this same amount of manuals for cheaper, but then you also have to pay shipping, and then who knows what kind of state it's going to be in when it gets there. This way I got to pick out everything and just buy it all in one shot. And to wrap up this video, I'm going to test a couple of N64 games that I just recently got in the mail as I whittled down to under 10 the number of Nintendo 64 games I need for a complete set. I brought over the Q-tips and the rubbing alcohol, figuring that I might have to clean one or both of these. And at first, I was pretty sure that NFL Blitz was going to need the extra cleaning, but I gave it the old college try. I didn't give up on it. I wasn't ready to bust out the Q-tips just yet, so I'm like, okay, let me make sure I'm on the right input. I am on the AV, and let me just pull it out, give it a little wiggle, push back in, and there it is. NFL Blitz. It's kind of weird that such a common and low-value Nintendo 64 game was one of the last 10 I didn't have, but it was just something I'd never gotten around to before now, so knocked that one off the list for a few bucks and very happy to do so. The next one I'm going to need a cartridge converter for, because this is Transformers Beast Wars, a loose copy that I imported from Japan, and it's still got a sticker on top of it because apparently they labeled it to keep it in their inventory as to which game was which. So can't blame them for that. It's always a good practice to keep track of what you have. And I'm just going to peel this off first before I stick it in the cart converter. You may ask, why would I get a Transformers game in Japanese? I'll tell you why. The North American English conversion is way more expensive, for one, and for two, this is a fighting game. It's like the Virtua Fighter of Transformers games, where you have 3D mechanics and you're doing one-on-one combat back and forth, but with some degree of rotation around you. So to me, I'm thinking, if it's a fighting game, I can just bluster my way through it without really knowing Japanese. And if I need English translations, I can always just use Google Translate. But I really don't think I need to spend, I don't know, what is it, like a couple $100, maybe more, just for the American version of it. I just want the game, and the game works with a simple cartridge converter. Or if you're the type of person who likes to crack open your Nintendo and Super Nintendo consoles, there's just two little tabs that are region lockout tabs. If you break those off or cut them off, sand them off, whatever, then your Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 becomes region free from US to Japan. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that works for PAL games because of the different hertz rates and different refresh, and you may get speed and timing issues if the game's been sped up or slowed down. But between the US and Japan, it's NTSC format, so the only difference is going to be the language. And if you can play a game like Super Bowling, which I got not long ago, where you don't really need to know the language, then you're fine. It's going to save you a lot of money to get the Japanese version compared to the localized American version in a lot of these cases. And Transformers Beast Wars is definitely one. I'm Mr. MegaManFan, and as always, thank you for watching.